Hello, you guys. How are you guys? Good morning. Oh, by the way, that background was the sun over Idaho University. I thought that was so pretty. Hey, Rainbow Mom. Hey, Sons, Camilla. Hey, Mark, Mary, Sign on Crumb. Hey, Steffa, Mel, Cool Gamer, Ashley, Punksy, New Orleans Lady. Holy moly, you guys, there is a lot to talk about. And I'm traveling tomorrow to West Virginia. So today, is going to be a busy day. This is really the only opportunity I have. I'm sure by the time I'm able to go live again, there's going to be a million more updates. It seems like new things are coming out by the minute. I found some really good stuff, though, I want to watch with you guys. We have Xana's father who spoke out and, says that she fought for her life. Basically, she fought hard. She had a lot of defensive wounds, but he spoke out, or defensive bruising, he said, that would show that she really put up a fight. We have another friend that's spoken out. We have there's several different videos and articles I want to look at with you guys. Hey, Ava. Hey, Lady Butterfly. God, I cannot even imagine, Sons. I really can't. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get right to it. I'm going to share my screen with you guys and pull up my YouTube Facebook account so I can start going through some of the stuff. The first thing I'll start with, now this is an article by TMZ, and so just, we got to remember what the outlet is. And then we have other articles. I have an interview with Inside Edition. The sister has spoken out some more. That was new this morning. This is a friend of some of the students that did an interview this morning on News Nation. But it's, a lot of information coming out. I know there was local store owner that, said they came in looking for a specific knife. I don't think police have verified that, but it's still interesting. So let me see. I'm going to have to already switch to the other screen. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. I'm sitting outside. It's cold as hell out here. I'm wearing 2 hoodies, a jacket, a blanket wrapped around me, and I'm sitting here bundled up. But I did want to show you guys this. So, University of Idaho murders. One victim violently struggled with attacker. She's a tough kid, Dad says. This came out this morning at 6 a.m. So here's a photo of Xana and her dad. Oh my God, how sad. I mean, you just think that you're so proud of him. Well, I mean, Ethan's parents said it best. You think that, that you've done your job. That they're at college now, they're doing the right thing, and kind of they're safe, like you've made it. It's horrible. Hey, Charlotte, good morning. Oh, I woke up just so stopped up, just yucky feeling. Okay. One of the 4 college students found slaughtered inside an Idaho home fought with her knife-wielding attacker to the bitter end, this according to her father. Jeffrey Kernodle was interviewed Thursday by a CBS affiliate in Arizona, revealing, I should have found that specific interview. I guess this is it right here, right? Because this is the Arizona News, because I'm subscribed to them for Lori Vallow News. Revealing the body of his daughter Xana underwent an autopsy that proved one thing for sure. She had bruises consistent with her furious battle to save her own life. Let's watch this together. Oh, of course. I hope the internet does okay. Hey, Mama Shell. 2 feet. Holy moly. Yeah, I bet you're happy to not be there now. I was terrified the 4 years my son was away at university. Hey, Gregory, good to see you. It really is, Mark. It's crazy. Okay, let's hear this.
Learning more about a young woman with ties to the valley who was found dead with 3 roommates in a house near the University of Idaho last weekend.
Sarah Robinson talked exclusively with her father in Avondale today. Still so many questions, Sarah.
Yes, a lot of questions. Xana Kernodle was raised in Idaho, but she spent time here in the valley since her dad moved to Avondale a few years ago. He describes her as fun, smart, and strong-willed, and says it's impossible to imagine she was killed in the worst homicide police say they've ever seen in this small Idaho city.
Just a pause for fair use, you guys, just for a second. Thank you guys so much for spending your morning with me. It means the world to me. It really does. Mom Michelle, me too. I hope that my oldest is almost 14, and when he's ready for college, maybe I hope and pray he'll want to stay home and do it. Like, he can have all the friends over. I'm the kind of mom, like, bring the kids here. I love it. Kids are way easier than adults, but still, bring the kids here. I don't want them going to someone else's house, you know? Okay.
She didn't really worry about the drama stuff that much.
Yeah.
She wasn't into that. She just liked having fun, wasn't worried about materialistic things. She was with her friends all the time.
Avondale father
Wow.
Jeffrey Kernodle, who was too distraught to be on camera, remembering the life of his daughter, Xana, one of the victims of the brutal stabbing at the University of Idaho, leaving 4 college roommates.
What a beautiful girl she was. My God. Like, those photos they showed, and it's, I want to go back just to have a look at that once again, the photo of her and her dad. I mean, he's too devastated to be on camera. This is awful.
Victims of the brutal stabbing at the University of Idaho, leaving 4 college roommates dead on Sunday.
I heard from her, I think before we went out, I think midnight was the last time I heard from her, and she was fine.
The murders happened early Sunday morning, rocking the small town of Muskow, Idaho, which hasn't had a murder since 2015, according to state records.
I have no idea. That doesn't make sense.
Xana was in constant.
There's your 8 years. Welcome, you guys, coming in. I'll be back in chat in a second. I am away from it, but just for a minute.
Communication with her family, and nothing about that night seemed unusual.
The door locked with a number code. Every time you open it, like, I had to go I had to go around the house to get in the house because of the number code. So they either knew that or they just kind of went around the slider open.
A father struggling to understand how this could have happened. Why Xana?
Oh my God. Wait, I don't want to see that. Wow.
They were just out of home.
Yeah.
Xana was hanging out at home with her boyfriend.
2 other female roommates, Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves, were killed along with Xana's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, who Jeffrey loved.
Is it her and Ethan?
Hello, Allie, and hey, Halo Art, and you guys coming in. Wow, so her family loved her boyfriend.
And we're together about a year, give or take some, whatever. But she really, when I went up there, I saw her just, a week before that. She changed a lot. She had a life. She got to see what it was to have a boyfriend, to live with and have a real life. And she really turned around and was being really responsible, helping him out into the studies and stuff. I was really impressed.
Helping him out. So yeah, she was, if you guys don't know, she was a few years ahead of him. He was a freshman, I think. We went over it the other day. And she was, I believe, a junior, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah.
Kernodle says there's one thing the autopsy shows for certain. Xana, a strong-willed girl, fought her killer until the very end.
Bruises and just, maybe hurt by the knife or whatever. She's a tough kid. Whatever she wanted to do, she could do it.
Oh my God.
A very disturbing case. Investigators say they still believe this is a targeted attack, but the killer.
Wow. Absolutely heartbreaking, you guys. Hey, Peppermint Smoka. Hey, good girl. It is so sad. And we have a lot more stuff to go through. So let me go ahead and exit out of that. Let's see if there's anything that sometimes there will be things they don't include in the interview that they show, and it'll be just in the article. So let me just skim through this quickly to see. Well, we'll read this part. What's more, cops are reportedly looking for a specific type of murder weapon, a large combat knife similar to the one used by Sylvester Stallone's Rambo character in the 80s action flick First Blood. As for motive, police would only say it was targeted. Now, that, I believe, comes from a store owner who has reported police have been in there asking about a specific knife. I think, that's not confirmed at all, but it's still pretty interesting. Let me stop that screen share, and then we're going to go to our next article, which is Kaylee Goncalves' sister. It's a new interview that was posted this morning, so we know she's been speaking out a lot. This was with Inside Edition here, so let me go see. Hey, Lynn. It is Anonymous. Well, I'm wondering, did it used to be rare, or is it that we didn't know about it? And technology is just, because think of all the cases that don't get attention,
The equivalent of all of the recommended servings of fruits.
Citizen sleuths across the USA are focusing their attention on the brutal slayings of 4 college kids.
How do you kill 4 people with a knife?
We're learning about another strange detail.
A lot of people are very, very, how do you kill 4 people with a knife, and then with 2 other people in the home? Which is, I don't know.
In this case.
My most immediate question is, where's the suspect?
Dozens of websites and postings from armchair detectives are springing up, and some of the best known lawyers and detectives are offering their own theories about what may have happened.
Interesting how 4 students can be overcome by 1 person with a knife, not a gun.
Olivia Gonzalez.
Very interesting.
Alves isn't waiting.
They called her Gonzalez. What did they say? Goncalves. That's how you say it. Goncalves, not Goncalves. Goncalves.
Gonzalez isn't waiting for police. She's tracking down her own leads to find her sister Kaylee's killer.
We're not getting any answers, and we're not going to settle for that. Hi.
It was Olivia who found the potentially crucial video of her sister and Madison Mogan at a food truck just hours before they were murdered.
Wow. So her sister is the one who found that video. I did not know that. I don't know. And it's possible there was more than one. We know at the press conference they said they will find the people responsible for this. And didn't call 911, Jimmy? I don't know. It happens. Canada had 5 kids killed at a house party. It does happen. Yeah, but and you know what? I was thinking, like, they must feel like just helpless, because we know that these investigations take a long time, and yeah. How do we know he didn't use a gun to control? That's very possible, Wendy. I hadn't even heard somebody, say that, but it's possible. Misbehaving. I love your name, Misbehaving. I wonder if she was texting her sister when she was there. It's possible, and that's how she knew about it. I'm curious, too. How did she find it? That's pretty awesome, though.
She also tracked down their Uber driver.
I found neighbors' Ring camera footage
Wow.
so that I can verify that the Uber driver took her home.
She's also raising questions about why her sister called a young man named Jack multiple times the night she was slain.
At 2:26 a.m., Kaylee starts to call Jack. Kaylee calls Jack 6 times.
Oh, my God. You know what? I'm sorry. I bet police are losing their mind as some of these details are getting out. So at 2:26, Kaylee calls Jack 6 times. That is very interesting. I need to bookmark this in my mind. Let me just replay that so I know the exact time.
She was slain.
At 2:26 a.m., Kaylee starts to call Jack. Kaylee calls Jack 6 times.
Wow.
Between 2:26 a.m. to 2:44 a.m.
Between 2:26 and 2:44. 6 times. Hold on. I've got to write this down somewhere. I just want to be able to add it in, like, between 2:26 and 2:44. Is that what it was? 6 times. I sent it in a text to you, Lynn. I love that. And the color, I say the third color. I hadn't seen it till just now. That's adorable. Okay.
Gosh, I give you a lot of credit. You're almost like a detective here, putting all the pieces together. I spoke with retired detective Phil Waters, who had a 96% clearance rate on homicide cases. He was with the Houston Police.
There's no doubt that this is.
Whoa, that's quite an impressive record. You know what? I saw Melissa Jade posted a timeline. After this is over, we will go look, and then we'll just like envision these phone calls to Jack right there, because I just want to see
A person who is filled with a type of evil that is incomprehensible.
There were 2 other roommates in the house who walked away from this. How is that possible?
The use of an edged weapon is going to prevent any kind of real sounds that would awaken the other 2 girls. If this person, and it appears to be they are, proficient with an edged weapon, the deaths would have occurred so quickly that there would have been no opportunity for them to cry out.
Was Jack Kaylee's ex or Maddie's ex? That's important. Kaylee called him 6 times. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, just a second. So now I'm going to pull up, before I go, since I have right here, this is another new thing that came out this morning on News Nation now, and it's an interview with, it started at 2:26. Yeah, if you don't care, Lynn, to 2:44, which that seems right before, because they said it happened like around 3 or 4 in the morning, right? That's what they assume. There's no way for them to know kind of the order of how things happened unless by the physical evidence. Oh, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay. You'd think they'd be able to find the order of how they were killed because of like possible, DNA evidence transferred from one victim to the next, and then from 2 victims to the third, and then from 3 to the 4th. You know what I mean? If Xana was fighting, had bruises, wouldn't she have screamed or cried out? You would think so. If it was to the point, that she was bruised and fighting like that, multiple bruises, because I don't know. You would think so, though, yeah.
Grace Anderson is joining us right now. She's a high school friend of Kaylee Goncalves and Xana Kernodle, and she's joining us live from Boise, Idaho. First, sorry for your loss, pain of this. I can't even.
So she went to high school with Kaylee and Xana.
Imagine. But we have the video of a couple of your friends. At least I know that Kaylee was there at the food truck. Do you know who all is in this video?
Just Maddie and Kaylee, yes.
Okay. And you were very close with Xana. When was the last time you spoke with her?
I would say this summer. I mean, I would talk to her over Snapchat every once in a while, but this summer was like the last time I really got to talk to her.
Well, that doesn't seem like you're super extra very close, but okay.
Do you have any guesses as to who could have done this?
No, that's up to the authorities to disclose with everybody.
Okay. Have you been in touch with the authorities? Have police questioned you and other friends, hopefully trying to get some more info and piece this together?
No, but again, like I said, like
What? This is just odd, you guys.
Here just to speak on behalf of Xana and Kaylee and honoring them, as well as Ethan and Maddie.
Well, what would you?
So until further notice of the authorities,
Go ahead. I apologize.
Just until authorities have disclosed what has happened, I know no more information than anybody else does.
Okay, I got to get what you guys have to say about the first part of this. Yeah, what in the world? I'd previously thought Hoodie Guy was unrelated, but supposedly there are photos of him hunting on Facebook. She seems to be trying to be relevant. It's like you haven't spoke to her since summer. You don't know, anything more than we do. Maybe she's just there to talk about, who they were, the type of person they were and that kind of thing. Let's keep watching, not be too judgmental. I'm sure it's not easy being on like national TV for the first time and as a young person, but weird.
So what would you like to say on behalf of your friends?
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly sure how to start something like this. And I want to preference that Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan were not just victims, but we're family, friends, and loved ones to not only myself, but all of those affected. I'm saddened to be speaking on behalf of them today, but hope to share some of the good because I was lucky enough.
Oh my God, look at that picture. How beautiful is she? Oh my God, it's just sad. Whew. This weird though, but yeah, I'm not try not to be judgmental.
These two beautiful girls, despite the fact that they were so much more than what my words can describe of them, but Xana was just such a light, and she was lively, tender-hearted, so bubbly, and a humorous girl that I think that we could, all of our friends and family could second. As far as Kaylee,
oh, how sad.
I didn't know her as well as Xana, but she was someone that when I went to the university was always checking in on me, making sure I felt welcomed, and
these kids are all just so beautiful, and they just look so full of like life and yeah, let me look at her face. It is have they talked to Hoodie Guy that we know of? Now, not that I know of. Nothing that I've seen so far, and I will be kind of looking this morning for a bit. So, but I don't know. There, like I said, there is so much information coming out. It seems to be, and this is like mainstream media. Every single outlet is doing pieces on it, which is interviewing different family members, different loved ones, and then you have police being talked to, coroner, the mayor, the president of the school, and you know what I mean. It's there's a lot. I wish that there was this much coverage for all the cases, because God, how I would love to get this amount of information on Lyric and Devin. Those two kids were gunned down by another kid, and I went to the crime scene and stuff with a couple of friends of mine, the Cypher Podcast and Incognito Gypsy, and I would love to see them get the attention. But I mean, they deserve it. I'm glad that they are, and it gives us a lot more information to go on and kind of discuss and try to figure out what the hell happened here.
Scene. Just sorry.
It's okay. When we think about this story, a lot of college students, they go out, they have fun, they might have a late night, they might go out till 12 or 1 in the morning, not surprisingly coming home in these middle of the night hours. For this attack to happen, do you want to clear the air with anybody watching at home? Were your friends into hard partying? Were they, someone who hung out with the wrong kind of guys?
Absolutely not. No, they were always very careful, always took the necessary precautions to be staying with each other, always traveling with somebody or in groups.
You know, it's really sad that you are told and you assume that you are safe in groups, you know? That someone wouldn't just attack you if you're with 3 of your other friends or whatever.
They were loved by everybody. I can't think of anybody who would have an ill thing to say about them or
wish them
do
harm. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right. Well, we want to thank you, Grace,
Angelina,
for being here this morning,
where
and a strength to you and your heart and all the family members and friends.
what are you talking about? I'm confused. In Washington State, in Pullman, these kids are from Idaho University, still a very, very large university. From the subreddit Moscow Murders. That was where there's a thread alleging Kaylee was being stalked. Interesting. I got Sammy vibes. That. Yes. Me too. It really does, honey. It really, really does. Good morning, Maria. Hey, Evil. CJ. Okay, it's on the border with WSU. Okay. So there's 2 colleges right beside each other. I graduated from there 20 years ago. Wow, got my doctorate in pharmacology. 8 miles away between the 2. It's a border town. Okay, thank you. Agree, Ava. Thank you, Angelina. That's so interesting. So it's not just one big university, it's 2. You've got University of Idaho. Yeah, the Pullman, Moscow area. Okay, let's keep watching. That's interesting. That's really good to know. I had no idea. I was just assuming we're dealing with one university, but really that's 2 right next to 8 miles is nothing.
Friends of these girls.
When I was in college, I went to a place called Glenville State University in West Virginia, and I lived there. It was about like an hour from Morgantown, West Virginia University, WVU, but it was still close enough that we all knew a lot of each other. We would travel back and forth, that kind of thing. So,
Ethan, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television.
Okay, we still have more to look at, so give me just a second. Well, here's another News Nation from 2 hours ago. Let me go ahead and just click this. And
by taking just 3 fruit and 3 veggie capsules, you get the equivalent of all of the recommended servings of fruits and vegetables in just a few seconds.
Then we're going to watch that with the coroner.
Drive-through. Now, when was the last time you ordered fruits?
Autopsies do confirm the 4 University of Idaho students killed last weekend were all stabbed to death. Police are still waiting on DNA samples in hopes of finding a suspect.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
All over the state.
Wow.
Students and faculty at Boise State University gathering to pay their respects to the victims on Thursday. They came with flowers and candles to offer condolences and show their support. Our Stephanie Haynes is live with the latest on the investigation. And Stephanie, this is just a sad story, and there are no suspects at this time.
Still no suspects, Adrian, and good morning to you. The coroner says these 4 students were found in their beds, stabbed multiple times. The university
in their beds. There are such conflicting stories there. We have to watch the coroner's interview. I need to hear directly, because you're hearing from some news outlets that they were all in their beds. Then you're hearing from some that he was discovered on the floor. And you guys, we looked over the article that said that yesterday. So, and you've heard and seen rumors of Maddie being stalked. So both girls stalking rumors with both girls. Then we have that phone call to Sean 6 times at 2:30 in the morning to 2:45 around that time. Oh my Lord.
He sent out a note late last night saying police maintained this was a targeted attack, but with no one in custody and little information, the families of the victims are demanding answers. This morning, a killer is still on the run following the gruesome stabbings of 4 University of Idaho students: Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Zayna Kernodle, and Kaylee Gonzalez. Kaylee's sister, Olivia Gonzalez, spoke with News Nation's Chris Cuomo Thursday.
Gonzalez. Ooh, I watched this interview with Chris Cuomo. I think I shared it on my community page.
Night, saying her sister was a go-getter and an absolute fighter. They have no idea why she was the target of such a brutal slaying.
There's nothing. There's no boy problem. There's no threat. There's no high-risk lifestyle.
Olivia says she provided police with this video of her sister at a food truck in the hour before she died and identified one of the men in the background who she says is cooperating with police.
Okay.
Police say Kaylee and Madison were
Wonder
at a
who that
downtown
is.
bar, while Ethan and Zaina were at a party before they all came home to their off-campus apartment early Sunday morning and were attacked sometime around 2 or 3. The 911 call for an unconscious...
Sometime around 2 or 3. Now we heard from her sister directly at 2:26. She starts calling until, what was it? 2:44? Jack? Is that his name again? Jack, right?
Person came in at noon. Police say 2 other roommates were inside the apartment at the time, unharmed.
I do know who they were. I have not spoken to them. They were my sister's roommates. Obviously, I knew who she lived with.
Olivia hopes someone will come forward so she can get her sister and her friends justice.
We're losing.
She hasn't spoken to them? That's odd too.
Critical time.
Oh, wow.
And
Every second
I
it gets
want
crazier,
more
you all.
coverage. I want
I don't
more
even
done.
know what to think.
No weapon has been found, but a local hardware store says police have come by asking about a specific brand of knife and if that was sold to anyone recently.
Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation.
Stop before you do any holiday shopping this year.
Okay, I'm going to check on you guys while we listen to this.
Happy with the C, Mabbutt, M-A-B-B-U-T-T.
I'm asking how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing it for 16 years, and I just got.
They said
released for another 4.
yes, but they weren't clear on who.
Or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first. So I didn't actually go to the scene until about 5 or 5:30.
Wow. That's kind of interesting. That's quite a long time. But
Can you walk us through for our viewers kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing your examination?
they did, Sally.
Sure.
They said
Well, law
that.
enforcement goes through and
Hold on.
looks for any evidence. Takes
So just to be clear, they said in that video just now, yes, that they had identified one of the men from the video and he was cooperating. They were not clear on who, because we know that they identified someone that worked in the food truck. I saw an interview with a young man on, I think, Kelly's channel. So
videos
could
and
be him.
pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So
Okay, so they did leave them as they were. So this, you guys that are just coming in, is the county coroner who has done the autopsy on the University of Idaho victims.
those are really that's what my job is, to look at the bodies.
A coroner, do you
Hey,
guys
Melissa
do,
Jade.
the
Melissa
autopsy and
Jade.
all that?
No, we some do if they're an actual medical examiner, but forensic pathologists, and we contract with Spokane to do that.
Melissa Jade. Her sister did an interview this morning, Kaylee's sister with Inside Edition, who said at 2:44, I saw you did a timeline. I'm going to pull that up in a minute, I think, because at 2:26 to 2:44, Kaylee made 6 calls to someone named Jack. And I want to see how that falls on your timeline. And I thought you might want to know since you're doing the timeline.
So in your experience, what is it that you saw when you showed up?
Well, there was a lot of blood. It's a very sad scene with 4 murdered college students.
You're running all 4 deaths homicides.
Yes.
And
So no, it's no, homicide / suicide situation.
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object.
So stabbings.
Yeah, I will know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
And do you believe this could be like a murder suicide or?
No, there are 4 homicides.
And when it comes to doing the investigation post autopsy, that falls on you, correct?
It's quiet.
Yes, it's my job to determine the manner and mechanism of death.
And then I know with toxicology results, there can often be, in Washington, it's a delay. So do you have any idea how long it could take if those were relevant to get any type of results back on that?
Well, the toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner.
As far as the crime goes, the toxicology, she doesn't think it's going to be relevant, which I wouldn't either.
Cause of death.
But
And do we know how long between the time of death and when police found them? Approximately?
No, I don't know for sure.
Did we have like any, like, could it have been hours? Could it have been a day? Was it maybe close? Like, is there any sort of like time frame there?
Not that I'm aware of.
You said the scene was difficult. I mean, is this something you've had to deal with before in Mexico?
Since I've been coroner, there have been at least 2 other multiple homicide scenes that I've been involved in. So
there's only been 2 other homicides that she's been involved in. Wow. Wow.
This is probably the most gruesome.
no, it's hard to just single it out. It's the only one I've been to where there have been 4 people at one scene. There have been the other ones have had multiple scenes.
And was anybody else injured other than these people?
Not that I'm aware of, but I wouldn't necessarily be notified either.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like because the injury.
Okay. It's so quiet.
Oh.
I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. I want to pull up Melissa's timeline so we can look at where those calls would have fallen in place with what she made over here. Let me see. No 2 multiple homicides, not only 2. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. 2 homicides with multiple people. That's why she said the others had multiple scenes. People were not at the same scene. Okay. Well, I know they said that this is the worst crime that they've seen in this area. That's what some of the police said, but it was just a basic, okay, well, I still want to look at it just because now we're starting to hear actual details. Okay, wait, where's it at? Okay. Okay, so the Uber ride at 1:56 was the last thing you have to between 3 and 4, where I don't know why you can't click on it all on the computer and see it in full. But in between there, we know that Kaylee made 6 calls to Jack. Her sister has come out and I'm sure police are not happy with some of the information that's being shared. But let me look, I just want to see if there's one more thing I wanted to show you guys for certain. And then filters today. Okay, here's about the knife. Here we go. So we read that in the TMZ article, if you guys weren't here at first, about, the Rambo style knife. But here is a video from Inside Edition that was posted like last night, I believe, and about the knife. Hey, Riddler, good to see you.
Is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story. And
were the 4 college kids brutally murdered with a knife like this one. It's called a Rambo knife. It's got a 7-inch long blade. You can see part of the steel blade is serrated. Detectives have been going to sporting good and other stores in the area to ask if they sold a brand like this made by K-Bar. The actual murder weapon has not been found, and police.
So remember, I told you guys there was an owner of a store who said police had been in there asking about this specific knife. Supposedly Jack D and Kaylee were still together and dated for 9 years. So making 6 calls would kind of make sense if it was him. But this isn't confirmed, just mentioned on Reddit. Thank you, Sean. I got to get over here and look at this Reddit. There's a Facebook group that's got a ton of information in it too. For anybody who's wanting to follow up with that, it's Annie from 10 to Life created it, and she said new information's coming in constantly. The white hoodie, did he make the 911 call the next day? They won't say who. So from what I saw, the police were very weird about the roommates in the press conference. They were asked if that's who called 911, but they wouldn't clarify. Yes, that's true. Anyone can be a coroner. You just have to get elected and then get training. You have to be able to pronounce death. That's it. Right. It's very different than a medical examiner, which is why she said that she said they do work with the medical examiners in Spokane. They contract out of there. But it's just like, what was that case we talked about the other day? Ashley Bush. The coroner was also the funeral home owner. So it's bizarre.
Police are searching dumpsters, hoping to find it. The mystery deepened when police revealed the shocking information that 2 other roommates were inside.
So Inside Edition has not blurred their faces. Wow. Okay. I flashed their photo for a half a second, but I wasn't going to put it out there. But there you guys go. There's the 2 other roommates. If you haven't gotten to see them, and I figured it would be. I mean, they are adults. They're not juveniles, and they were there. Not only were they there and possibly slept through this or whatever, no one called 911 until the next day. I assume there are so many different stories about them being in the road and this and that. I believe that them saying that they were in the road, that was a miscommunication. They were all found to be in the house. We've heard that he was on the floor of the 2nd floor, and then that also they were all in their beds. So we cannot get I don't know the actual truth. It's getting reported, so differently by different outlets. But one thing I know is none of the victims were in the road. I believe that was miscommunication between the way it was written up, because it said they got a call about an unconscious person on King Road. Now, I believe one article, someone heard that and took that and wrote an article that said an unconscious person laying in the road. And they are a great looking group. But there is some weird stuff about that 911 call. It didn't take place till noon the next day. Were these people sleeping and didn't leave their beds until noon, And if Xana's dad comes out and does an interview, if you guys missed it, we played that first. He just did an interview, and he said that she had bruises and defensive wounds, and she fought back. That she would never have not fought back, but that she had the bruising to prove it, basically. If she fought back like that, wouldn't they have heard something? I mean, I guess you have the noise canceling earbuds, but because that's another thing people will say. So that's possible, but I don't know, you guys.
House when the 4 students were slaughtered. Published reports identified the roommates as Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, both 21. Have they lawyered up? Are they
Wow.
concerned about being questioned? Are they cooperative?
It's my understanding that they're fully cooperative with
I
investigators.
can't believe they put their names out and everything. So there you go. And it's rumored that this news place who released a lot of information in the Skylar Niece case has been communicating with Dylan, has been blocked by Dylan, and they said they're going to release all the information. We shall see. I don't know.
When the 4 students
That
were
would be-
slaughtered. Published reports identified the roommates as Dylan Mortensen and Bethany
So
Funk.
this is Dylan. That's Bethany. Wow, you guys. I'm shocked that Inside Edition has so brazen like this and just put it out there.
Both 21. Have they lawyered up? Are they concerned about being questioned? Are they cooperative?
It's my understanding that they're fully cooperative with investigators.
The local police chief says cops weren't called until 9 hours after the murders.
You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning, and the 911 call didn't come until noon.
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there. So, you know, we don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night. But I'm not going to go into what they shared that night.
This is the house where the murders took place.
That's where he's just awkward as can be over these roommates. I mean, it was very awkward.
There's a keypad lock on the front door, but friends say many people knew the code. Around the back of the house is a sliding door, which may have been unlocked. The house is large, 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms.
Hey, crazy mama.
Police aren't saying where in the house the 4 bodies were found. In a day of fast-paced developments, the manager of a food truck popular with students says he remembers victims Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan ordering food at 1:30 a.m. Sunday. That's only about 2 hours before they were murdered. He also noticed, says he remembers victims Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan.
So he's the one who came forward. Kaylee gave him a big hug. I'm pretty sure he's the one who came forward. Possibly that we heard there's been one person identified. Let's keep listening though. But if Kaylee called Jack 6 times after they got back, I wonder, you just have to be like, is it possible that Jack was around and saw her hug him? You know, no, it could be anything else. I'm literally just speculating. I'm just saying it could be something like that, some stalker. It could be the roommates. It could be anybody. I'm not saying it's the roommates either. I'm just saying me saying this means absolutely nothing. So please don't take it as to mean something factual.
Ordering food at 1:30 a.m. Sunday. It's only about 2 hours before they were murdered. He also noticed a man who appeared to be watching them, as seen in this video.
Seems like a guy arrived similar to the same that they do. It seems like he almost looks exactly at the camera and then puts a hat on and pulls his hood up and then
I said the same exact thing. He looks at the camera and it's like he puts his hat on and his hood up. So he won't, because you can tell when somebody's like trying to avoid a camera.
moving off to the side and is around the truck, seems interested in him, and then leaves around the same time that they leave.
Police have not named any suspects, but are walking back their controversial claim that there is no threat to other students at the University of Idaho.
We cannot say that there's no threat to the community. And as we have stated, please stay vigilant, report any suspicious activity, and be aware of your surroundings at all times.
A handful of students held a vigil at the campus gates last night. Many have fled the campus.
Please stand and join us in a moment of silence.
The slain were also remembered at a University of Idaho basketball game last night. Kaylee Gonsalves' sister, Autumn, warned other students to leave. If he is sick enough to force sweet innocent...
Okay, I'm going to show you the interview with her sister where she mentions the phone calls again. I think it was Inside Edition, if I'm not mistaken. So should be able to just grab it right here, hopefully. Yes. Kaylee's sister tries to track down her killer. So this was the first thing we watched. You guys that came in late probably didn't get to see it. This is really interesting. It was posted.
Citizen sleuths across the
today.
USA are focusing their attention on the brutal slayings of 4 college kids.
How do you kill 4 people with a knife?
Learning about another strange detail in this case.
My most immediate question is, where's the suspect?
Dozens of websites and postings from armchair detectives are springing up, and some of the best known lawyers and detectives are offering their own theories about what may have happened.
Interesting how 4 students can be overcome by one person with a knife, not a gun.
Olivia Gonzalez isn't
Nancy Grace just gives me like true crime nostalgia. Like I just picture her yelling at Casey Anthony, and but that's like back when I really started I watched her all the time back then. She came on at 8, and there was a show, the one in front of her, that Ashley, what's her name? Ashley Banfield at 7.
For police. She's tracking down her own leads to find her sister.
Okay, here we go.
Killer.
We're not getting any answers, and we're not going to settle for that.
It was Olivia who found the potentially crucial video of her sister and Madison Mogan at a food truck just hours before they were murdered. She also tracked down their Uber driver.
I found neighbors' Ring camera footage so that I can verify that the Uber driver took her home.
So if she verified that the Uber driver took them home by neighbor Ring doorbell footage, I knew there was going to be neighbors with cameras. It's just the time that we live in. It's just like, think about it. Chris Watts captured on his neighbor's camera. Letitia Stout captured on her neighbor's camera. It's just it, and it's going to be more and more as more people get those doorbell cameras, or the Amazon cameras or whatever. Okay, so listen to this.
Also raising questions about why her sister called a young man named Jack multiple times the night she was slain.
At 2:26 a.m.
Oh, I got a super chat. I didn't see it.
Call Jack. Kaylee calls Jack 6 times between 2:26 a.m. to 2:44 a.m.
Gosh, I give you a lot of credit. You're almost
between 2:26 and 2:44. She calls Jack 6 times. Thank you, inbred outcast. 2 guys walk down the way and keep peeking around the corner. 2 of them. Ooh, I'll have to watch that again and look for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sister on a mission. I'm sure police, like I said, police are not happy at all with her putting that stuff out there. But then again, if you're not giving family enough information, and I'd be doing the same thing. It's just like that little boy. I shared a video yesterday on my community page, and I said, this has me thinking, because we've watched so many kids go missing, and their parents, say, oh, they told us to stay home. Well, that little Bentley, his dad, does an interview after he's been found, and he goes, I haven't slept. I haven't went to work. As soon as he went missing, I was out looking for him. He was there when he was found by searchers. And he's like, you think I could do anything else knowing that my baby's out here missing? And I was like, damn, that is so nice to see, because I'm used to hearing like Candace Wells, they told us not to look. Are you kidding me? I'd be in the woods every damn day. Matter of fact, I'm ready to go up in the woods right now and look at some stuff looking for Summer. So I understand the sister's on a mission. She wants answers, and she doesn't feel like she's getting them quick enough. And I'd be damned if I'd leave it up to only authorities or only someone else. How do they not have a suspect if there is video footage showing an Uber driver? Good question, Delana. And maybe they do. I don't know. Before we go, I'm going to, Leilani didn't look either. Absolutely. Little Bentley was found in a camper. Yes, he found food and luckily did not freeze because of that. Okay, so before we go, I want us to look on Twitter, because I'm finding that is a really good place to find like unfolding information in these cases. So let me just, like this. Like, baby, do you want to like this? Ooh, Judge Boyce denied the request to sever Chad Daybell's case from Lori's. Trials will be held together, and Lori is competent. Cannot freaking wait. And it's going to happen soon, because Lori's already way past her date that they can do it. Let's look up Idaho University. and look for the latest here. University of Idaho reels with unease days after killing of 4 students. We might look at that. Let's see what else we can find, though, just to see. That's a new article, apparently, that was just posted by the local news. Look at all their local news posting the same article. Boom, 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 boom. Let's look at it then. They must want us to see. Okay. Hold on. I got to go over to that. So here we go. Okay. University of Idaho reels with unease days after killing of 4 students and no suspect identified. 5 days after 4 University of Idaho students were found stabbed in their off-campus home, a deep sense of apprehension and grief is affecting the community as authorities work to identify a suspect. The university's often packed parking lots had many empty spots Thursday after scores of students decided to return home or leave the area after the quadruple homicide last weekend. Everybody kind of just went back home because they're scared. It's definitely uneasy on campus right now, student Nathan Tino told CNN. Tino, who said the community is trying to approach the tragedy with sympathy, added the fact that no perpetrator has been caught in the case has elevated the sense of fear on campus. 2 other roommates were inside the home. Neither was injured nor held hostage. Investigators are speaking with the 2 surviving roommates. Potentially, they are witnesses. Potentially, they are victims. He said with an interview with ABC, potentially, they're the key to this whole thing. Police said they don't have a suspect and no one has been included or excluded as a person of interest and or a suspect. Investigators hope their roommates will help them figure out what occurred and why. That's their story to tell. Wow. That's a pretty big statement right there, in my opinion. The Idaho State Police Communications Director told ABC that it was the roommate's story to tell and they have a lot of answers. It's still so dark. It's just like a dark cloud over everything. We're leaving as fast as we can, said someone who lives near where the 4 students were killed. I just don't even think it's set in yet. You know how insane this is? And the fact that there's no answers is the worst feeling ever. Let's watch. I just want to see what comes in this little clip.
Move toward tomorrow at Cable Dahmer Kia.
Let your adventures begin in the all-new Kia Sorento. With 7 locations to choose from, Cable Dahmer makes finding your next vehicle easy. So if you want a new Kia, thank Cable Dahmer.
No one would have ever imagined something slightly like this could happen in such a small town.
Small town, usually full of life, students walking to class, until tragedy struck the community Sunday night.
It's been a heavy heart. You can feel it from every person you interact with to the people you walk by.
4 University of Idaho's killed, their bodies found by Moscow police Sunday. It's been called a homicide. The investigation ongoing. Crime scene tape still surrounding the quiet neighborhood.
It's something that is affecting.
I wonder if the killer is watching all of this. They probably are.
I think everyone, no matter how close you knew them or not, we're all connected in the Vandal family in one way or another.
Olivia Nemi is a junior at the University of Idaho. She's a member of the student body government. She tells me she knew of the victims.
Everyone has their spot in this community the way it is, and those 4 had a big part to play in that, and it'll be felt and very missed without their presence here. From not only going to classes and knowing that I'm not going to see some faces that I've ran into before, to everyone else that is still here and has to live with that impact for the rest of their lives.
3 and 1 boy gone. 2 of them 20 years old. 2 of them 21.
To know that lives were lost for the
awful. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back to Twitter just because I don't have a ton of time left, and I wanted to just see if we could scroll a little bit more because we didn't get far, and all we saw was the same article posted over and over. Back to Twitter. I wonder if their phones were still with them. I'm not sure. Yes, let me check right now. Okay. Jack is Kaylee's boyfriend. Jake is Maddie's recent ex-boyfriend. So Jack is Kaylee's boyfriend. Kaylee is the one who ran up and hugged the food truck owner in that video. I mean, not that that matters, but it is something to keep in mind. Everything's important right now, you know, and food truck video, Fox News University, victim's father said she had bruises and put up a fight, which we watched that. Oops. Autopsies were completed. I'm going to have to do some digging on the Reddit. Now that I know there's so much information over there, all of the social media true crime vultures are disgustingly excited. I don't know. I don't think anybody's excited or making all kinds of wild guesses and accusations. I don't know about that. Let's keep going. We're leaving as fast as we can. New York Post. Well, I think that we've kind of went through everything I found that came out since, came out this morning. Oh, look here, we were just talking about Washington State University. Here is a tweet that is talking about how close it is. The killings of the 4 University of Idaho students on Sunday have left many students at neighboring Washington State worried for their safety. Wow. They're going to have to put something out, at least something about suspects. Here's the Independent posted this is 37 minutes ago, a timeline. This will be the last thing we check out today. I do want to see where those phone calls fit into place with this timeline. And thank you guys for being here. I so appreciate it so much. Let me see here. I gotta travel all day tomorrow, y'all. Oh, Danny B. Hey, Search and Rescue. Yes, Moscow Murders. Reddit Moscow Murders has lots of info. Thank you. I'll definitely be checking that out. Okay, timeline. What we know so far. It's just... I have to register to finish reading this timeline. Are you serious? Oh, nope. Monday, August 22nd. That's when the semester began. Okay. They talk about where they come from. All the girls live with the 2 other roommates. Kaylee posted on Instagram, I love this place. I love these people. In October, posting a picture of herself. A previous post commemorating Mogan's 21st birthday in May showed a timeline of the pair growing up together, going all the way back to their childhoods. On September 12th, there was the knife threat, and we talked about that yesterday. There were a few people walking, and they reported walking into someone on Paradise Path that threatened them with a knife. Saturday, November 12th at 8:57 local time, Kaylee posted for the last time on Instagram, including a picture of herself and all 3 other students standing arm in arm on the porch. One lucky girl to be surrounded by these people every day, she wrote in her caption. 2 other women are also shown in the photo, which was taken in daylight and therefore at least an hour or 2 beforehand. That night, Chapin and Kernodle went to a party together on the university campus, while Mogan and Kaylee went to a bar in town. A bar. 1:41 a.m. This is where they were last seen alive at the food truck. Captures them at 1:41. An unidentified man appears to be walking with them before he steps back as they approach the truck. Mogan and Kaylee go up, order their food, and then he pulls the hoodie over his head. The man is seen chatting and laughing with another man in live. Blah, blah, blah. So then we have all 4 victims are believed to have returned to the home sometime after 1:45. Then right after that, we have those 6 calls from Kaylee to Jack. Did he not answer? Or what? I want to know that. Officials believe the students were killed sometime between 3 and 4 on Sunday morning. There was no sign of forced entry. We know that. They do believe that they entered through actually, it's not in this article, but they do believe they entered through the sliding glass door. The 2 other roommates were at home, but were unharmed. Police said they were not necessarily witnesses to the incident and have been cooperating. There was no hostage situation. Then we have Sunday at noon, mystery 911 call. Police were called to the home at 11:58 a.m. on Sunday to an unconscious individual. You see here, it doesn't say in the road. They were not in the road, in my opinion. That was just a couple articles got things wrong, and people ran with it. Because that even confused the hell out of me. When they arrived on the scene, they discovered the 4 victims dead from a knife attack. Officials are remaining tight-lipped about who placed the 911 call and why they would have said it was an unconscious individual given the bloody nature of the crime scene. One of my theories, you guys, is that someone saw. Now, we know that Ethan was claimed to have been discovered on the floor. Now we hear that they were all discovered in their beds. But I was curious, what if someone was looking through the windows and saw a person like laying face down on the floor or something for a long time? So that's why they called in an unconscious individual or something like that. I don't know. Then not long after they were discovered, they did a shelter in place at the university. That said, Moscow PD is investigating a homicide on King Road near campus. Suspect is not known at this time. Stay away from the area and shelter in place. Monday, Moscow named the 4 students, but gave confusing accounts of their fate. They said it was a crime of passion, and then later admitted they really don't know what it is. Police Chief Fry said a murder-suicide had been ruled out and that a suspect was wanted for the slayings. Okay. Police continued to insist there was no ongoing threat. Classes were canceled. So this is the timeline, and we kind of know this, but let me see. Just to skim through it so we don't miss anything. And mother of one of the kids that goes to the school, not one of the victims. A shelter-in-place order after the bodies were discovered, then lifted after an hour because the PD don't believe there's an ongoing threat, but no suspect. 4 students stabbed to death, and no one knows who did it, but there's no threat? What? The Moscow Police Department has shut off comments on its Facebook page. The mayor keeps blurting out motives and taking them back. There's a ton of confusion and fear. My daughter drives to campus every day. Today there are security everywhere, which is good, but then again, no threat. Okay, so then they do the timeline and stuff. We kind of know all of that. All right, you guys, what do you guys think? I'm going to let you guys go now, but I do want to talk to you just for a second and see what you guys think. If there's anything. It was weird how they handled the 911 call. I know. It was weird how they handled the roommates in general at the conference. Don't you think? I didn't like that. Oh my gosh, Danny B. Yes, email me. I need to check my email anyways for some other emails. Well, I don't know, you guys. It's just crazy. all of it. I don't even know what to think. I've never heard of the Air Force joining a search either. I still can't believe Debbie Collier was ruled to be a frickin' suicide. That just blows my mind. Absolutely, Mark. Be safe and enjoy family time. Yeah, I'm going to let you guys go for today. I'm going to go pack up all my crap and get ready to travel tomorrow. Yeah, and I'll update on the community tab and stuff like that. I think they're holding their cards close to the chest to keep from revealing things that they don't need to. Well, the sister may get in the way of that. All right. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I will update you all as I get them on the community tab. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you for being here. You were United States Air Force, and we helped with the search. A sailor found the missing girl alive. Oh, wow. That's incredible. Well, so it has happened before. That's really interesting. Oh, I will, Vicky. I'll carry more than that, girlfriend, let me tell you. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon, okay? Bye. And thank you to my mods. I appreciate you so much. Bye, Carol.